Hi, my name is Chid Liberty, and I am the co-founder of Liberty and Justice and the co-conspirator of those great women of the Liberian Women's Sewing Project, Africa's first fair trade certified apparel factory. So about 3.5 years into becoming a social entrepreneur, I can tell you that I probably have more questions about ending poverty than I have answers. And what's really funny is I look at the debates going on about aid versus trade, about philanthropy versus impact investing, government intervention versus the private sector. I'm sort of left with the same strategy that probably kept me out of Harvard a couple decades ago, which is I just pick D, all of the above, and try to make that work. I started Liberty and Justice with the idea that we could bring our government together, and President Sirleaf and her administration have been so helpful, that we could bring philanthropists together and that we could bring impact investors together and start a for-profit business that traded with American companies and actually made a dramatic difference in terms of social impact in people's lives. So here are the results. In a country where just 40% of school-aged children are enrolled in school, the children of our factory workers are enrolled at a rate of 98%. So we tend to think that the leading contribution to a kid getting educated in Liberia is whether or not his mother has a job. In a country where almost over 30% of deaths, inpatient deaths in hospitals, happen through malaria, 100% of our factory workers' families have access to a doctor to give them that preventative medicine, so malaria is a threat, a nuisance, but not a threat to their very existence. And probably the strangest social indicator that we've come across in our first few years is that about 25% of our workers got divorces in the first year. 25% of the women. Now, I didn't start this business to break up families, as you can imagine. In fact, quite the opposite. But it's so amazing to see the personal transformation happening for these women on the ground. One day I was in our factory in Liberia in my office, and we were actually working on a job for Lauren Bush and Godiva for Feed. And a woman came into my office named Mariam Abba, a very quiet woman, never causes too much trouble. And she said to me, "Boss, I need to change the name on my bank account." And I started thinking, oh no, maybe this is another divorce. And after a while, she explained to me that yes, indeed, she was getting divorced, but she, at the age of 13, had been married as a child bride to a man 40 years her senior. She then explained to me that I wouldn't be changing just the last name on her bank account. I would need to change the first and last name. Not only was she married to this man, but she had to assume his religion, and change her name, Mariam Abbas. So she explained to me that, "Boss, my real name is Rebecca Drake and I'm a Christian." And as I stood with this woman, as she reclaimed her childhood identity, I started to realize that there's something truly special going on in Liberia. Not just in our factory, it goes all the way up to our great president and the inspiration that she's provided for kids. The inspiration that she's provided for girls, the look in our women's eyes as they go into a literacy class and see that there actually is a future brighter than the one that they imagined just 10 years ago. So I invite you all to come visit us in Liberia. We have some amazing, amazing work going on, and I think you'll find such great hope and inspiration in working with us to bend the universe's long moral arc a few degrees closer to justice. Thank you so much.